This is Sakshi Bissa, coming a long way from India. I live in a city called Jaipur. Jaipur is famous for its food, culture, heritage, and incredible stuff for people who love shopping. I love shopping. And who doesn't? Coming to shopping, tell me, what is the most important thing we carry with us after visiting any e-commerce store? I think that's our very own experience. Experience that how we felt after visiting any online store. Experience is something that not just drives us to shop, but to shop again and again. Experience made us fall in love with the shopping. Also, it hooks us to the store we are visiting, right? And as a whole e-commerce community, what we all are working for? We all are working to provide the best customer experience to our users. And various data reports says that 58% of customers will never return to the site if they will have a poor experience. Also, 40% of consumers spend more time on any online store if they will get any personalized experience. There's one more thing that impacts the customer experience, and that is site search. Data reports of consumers' behavior says that 84% of users uses site search to solve their needs. At the same time, consumer rates for the customers who are using site search are 50% higher. So we have all these challenges in front of us. And to overcome these challenges, now, fortunately, we have the power of AI with the support of Adobe to enhance our customer experience to a whole new level. And that is here I'm referring to Adobe Sensei. Adobe Sensei. So what is Adobe Sensei? Adobe Sensei is an artificial intelligence tool which integrates with Magento Commerce Cloud seamlessly and works like an intelligent assistant. You must have got some assistant while visiting any offline store. So Adobe Sensei will work as an intelligence assistant on any online store. That intelligent assistant already knows what you need, what you may like and what you may dislike, and all your data. And that will recommend you the products according to your own deep data. So this is how Adobe Sensei works. Adobe Sensei provides us two modules to integrate with Magento. And that two modules are Product Recommendation module and Live Search module. So first we will start with the Product Recommendation module. Here you can see that, as I have already described, that Adobe Sensei collects your own data and recommends you the things according to your own data. So in the product recommendations, as the name already suggests, the Adobe Sensei will suggest you the recommendations of the products according to your data. So we have multiple types of recommendations in the product recommendation module. We can show multiple types of recommendations. So here, first, we will talk about 4 of the major recommendation types. First, we will start with the shopper experience. Shopper experience recommendation suggests the recommendations according to the shopper's experience. For example, what a user must have purchased in the past time, what a user is visiting mostly on the sites, site interactions, site visiting, purchasing history, etc. So all these types of recommendations will come under the shopper experience recommendations. Next one we have is content similarity recommendations. In the content similarity recommendations, user will get the recommendations according to the similar content they are browsing on the site right now. If a user is searching for the gym t-shirts, then in the content similarity recommendations, the user will get the recommendations as gym pants, gym accessories, gym gears, etc. because the content is similar. Next one we have is item based recommendations. In the item-based recommendations, we will get the recommendations according to the items we are browsing on the site right now. For example, if you are browsing shoes on the product detail page, then you will get various brands of shoes, various colors of shoes, and various sizes of shoes or according to the shoes. So that will comes under item-based recommendations. Last one we have is contextual popularity recommendations. In the contextual popularity recommendation, as the name suggests, popularity, the products that are the most popular will come under this recommendation types. For example, most viewed, most purchased, most added to cart, etc. So these are all types of recommendations we can showcase to the user. If a merchant wants to showcase the recommendation types to the user, what he first needs to do in the Magento? He first needs to decide what recommendation he will showcase. So here, as you can see on the configuration part, there are multiple types of recommendations that can be displayed to the user. That is most purchased, most viewed, conversion rates, and goes and goes and goes. So once a merchant have decided which recommendation type he will be showing to the user, next part will come is how the recommendation will be placed and where the recommendation will be placed. We can place recommendation types on multiple pages like product detail page, product listing page, home page, cart page, etc. Also, product recommendation supports page builder. Page builder allows the recommendations to drag and drop anywhere on the page we want. So using the page builder, as you can see here, the first recommendation is placed on the home page, and the second one is recommendations is placed on the product detail page. We can place the recommendation on multiple pages. As you can see in the configurations, you can select the page type you want to showcase. Also, you can decide how many products you want to show while showing the recommendations. Also, you can select the bottom and top placement of the recommendations where you want to show. So, we have decided which recommendations we are showing and where the recommendations should be placed. Now, what's next? There is one more important feature of product recommendation that will help the merchants really well, and that is dedicated reporting. In the dedicated reporting, a merchant can see how the recommendations is showing the results. For example, how the recommendations is getting how many clicks, how many views, and what are the impressions of the recommendations. All these data can be seen by the merchant in the backend section using the dedicated reporting feature of Adobe Sensei. So here, now we have next is inclusion and exclusion. As if a merchant is showing something to the user, a merchant may want to hide some of the conditions and may want to showcase some of the things to the user that he can manage from here only. For example, if a merchant wants to show the men's and women's categories products to the best, and if he wants to hide the all out of the stock products, then he can use this feature. Here, as you can see, he can select according to the category, price, type, visibility, and there in the exclusion too, he can hide all of the out of stock products and other conditions too. So all of these conditions can be managed using inclusion and exclusions. Also, product recommendation supports B2B and headless PWA. We don't need to do the extra efforts to integrate it with the PWA and B2B. It is supported by the product recommendation already. Now, coming to the next module of Adobe Sensei, and that is live search. As we have earlier talked about, that there is one more thing that impacts the customer experience, and that is live search. So here, Adobe Sensei provides a live search module to enhance our customer experience. So here, you can see the multiple features of live search. First, we will take a look at the video that how live search actually works in any e-commerce store. Give me a minute. Yeah, there you go. This is the first feature of live search, that is search as you type. As you have seen in the last video, that the user is searching for the products and the results are showing. In the search as you type, the results of the search will be showcased to the user when he will write the first 2 characters of the search query. All these results, as you are saying here, will be personalized according to user's own experience, according to user's own data, that how he must have seen the products passed in the website. So as this, the search as you type will work. Next feature we have is facets and filters. Now first let me show you how these displays in the front end. So this is how facets and filters will be visible on the front end. Facets and filters are actually the filters that you see on the search result page. Okay, so here, if you will see, these facets will be based according to the what user is searching for. If a user is searching for the shoes, then the brands of the shoes, the price of the shoes, the colors of the shoes will be visible in the filters. And if a user is searching for top or jeans maybe, then the filters will be according to the top and jeans. For example, that will be according to the design, types, patterns, etc. These filters will vary according to what user is searching for. So a merchant can manage these configurations from the backend, that which facets he wants to add and which facets he doesn't want to add. At the same time, he can pin few of the filters on the top of the filters line. For example, if a merchant wants to pin the price filter on the top, then the price filter will be pinned on the top on every search result page. This is how facets and filters will work. Next one we have is Synonym Management, and this is a very interesting one. In the Synonym Management, as we can see, a merchant never wants to lose a customer if a customer is searching for coat, but that product is listed as a blazer in their catalog list. For this, a merchant can For this, a merchant can add multiple synonyms in the admin to showcase the much more options in the search query. There are 2 broad categories of synonym management. One is two-way synonym management and second is one-way synonym management. In two-way synonym management, a merchant can add the multiple meanings of the keyword that is listed in their catalog list. For example, that coat is listed in their catalog list. A merchant can add the jackets and blazer with that. 3 of these words will return the same meaning, but the user's search query explains more. So this is how a user can find more products using the relevant keywords. And in the one-way synonym, a merchant can add sub-meanings of the keyword that is listed in their catalog list. For example, if a user is searching for the top, a merchant can add sweaters, sweatshirts, t-shirts, etc. in the one-way synonyms. So the customer can search for the more products. This is how synonym management will work. Next one we have is merchandising rules. Here, as you have seen in the product recommendations, there was an inclusion and exclusion that manages that how a merchant can manage the conditions. Here is also typically same, that here a merchant can decide that on which some of the conditions that a user will meet, and merchant can perform some of the actions on that conditions. For example, a user is searching for if a user is searching for the top, okay, so now here if a merchant wants to pin or boost some of the top products on the top of the listing, he can do that. Let's take one more example for that. Mother's Day is coming, okay? So if a unique customer, from us, is searching for the women's accessories on any website, and that merchant wants to showcase the newly added women accessories products to that customer. Now here, a merchant can use 4 of the events on those list product page where he can draw the attention of the customer. For example, he can use boost, bury, pin or hide on the events when a user will search for the women's accessories. Whenever the merchant will add the boost event, the products will be added with the boosted badge and will appear in the top of the listing with the boosted badge. So that will draw the attention of the customer, right? Second event we have is bury. In the bury, a merchant can bury few of the products that will be buried and will go lower in the listing. That will not be directly visible to the customer. Next event is pin. If a merchant wants to pin some of the products on the top of the listing, he can do that using the pin event on some conditions. And those pinned events he can place anywhere. He can decide the position of the pinned products. Last we have is hide event. In the hide, a merchant can hide few of the products that are may going out of stock or may not available for the sale. He can hide those products. So this is how in the merchandising rule we can select that on with some of the conditions a merchant will apply some of the events. We can also decide the duration of the rule we are creating and the details of the rule too. This is how merchandising rule will work. Now, as we have talked about both of the modules already, coming to the conclusion of both of these modules, now we will see how these modules are beneficial for the users. As we are focusing on the user and customer experience more, first we will talk about how it is beneficial for the users. As we will see that if we are giving the personalized experience to the user will get a quicker checkout. But user will spend more engagement and less timing. User don't need to search all the categories and products and do a lot of timings in that. He can quickly find what he exactly needs. And that's what is very beneficial for the user. Also, user will get the personalized experience that the intelligent assistant already knows what he may needs and what he does not need. Next one we have is that if both of these modules are beneficial for the user, then these are beneficial for the merchants too. As we have talked a lot about this, that merchants can manage a lot of things from both of these modules. This is very beneficial for the merchants. So for the merchants, if a merchant is able to provide the customers a personalized shopping experience, then the customer will be very satisfied. The customer will have very satisfied experience in the customer journey. If a customer is having a satisfied experience, then the sales, revenue, and marketing of the site, marketing of the store is already increasing here. And that is beneficial for the merchant. That's all a merchant wants. So this is how it will be very beneficial for the merchants too. Last but not the least, as we are on a technical track, we need to take care of the developers too. So for the developers, both of these modules provide seamless admin UI, and there's a lot of configurations. We can manage everything easily. So that provides a very seamless admin UI. Also, to integrate both of these modules, we can easily integrate it using the composer. These are very easy steps to integrate. So that's very easy way to integrate both of these modules. Also, now at developers, as you must have known that we used to add the upsell and cross-sell products in the admin to show the suggestions to the customers. Now we don't need to do such stuffs. A developer Adobe Sensei will do that for him. So yeah, this will be very beneficial for the user too. Now, coming to the conclusion, experience. As we were talking about the experience from the starting, and that is a really important thing here. So here, experience makes and makes a brand. What we need to understand now is that experience is everything. We really care about the customer experience. Every interaction a customer has with your brand is a trigger that, if positive, converts into a sale. But if it's negative, converts into a loss of a customer. However, that's a loss of a customer that no brand wants to experience, right? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is all. Thank you.